Hello, 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 hello. Testing 1, 2. Hey. Okay, everybody should have the PDFs. What they are, stick control combinations. Stick control cymbal patterns with the Chaffee combinations. Do we all have them? Get in the chat, guys. Tell me. I guess these are drumsticks. Okay, now there's a few terms I'd like to talk about first. A few things first, rather. The term fatback, and it's labeled in Gary Chaffee's book as fatback. So I believe it was like a heavy. It's a backbeat on 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Who's this? Okay, Paul, you can hear me, yeah? 2 and 4 is the money beat. I refer to it as the money beat, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hitting that 2 and 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Basic rock beat. Now, that's not really a fatback. It's a heavy backbeat, 2 and 4. I refer to that as the money beat. Now, next week, we are going to start getting into fatbacks. That's a displacement of the accent of 2 and 4. We're not hitting 2 and 4. Everything but 2 and 4 to make it sound funky. So, with that being said, that's enough said about that. What I want to do is keep an order on tonight's lesson. You have an option. Being Paul, you're the first one in the chat. What we can do is cymbal pattern number 7 or cymbal pattern number 9. Whichever you prefer. Who is this? Randy, how you doing? Okay, now, before we journey into that, I did give you a PDF. I believe it's 2 or 3 sheets. It's stick control cymbal patterns. Now, I've only had time to work on 2, and it does take a long time. Now, if you put these all together, you're getting a book here. So, Paul, tell me, which one would you like? Number 9 or number 7? I think, what is that? You'll stay with 9. Okay. Now, 9, we've done this before. And, it's a cymbal pattern. Nobody owns this. There's no copyright on it. But I'm saying cymbal pattern because that's what I'm making. And I'm telling you, explaining to you where I took this from. The stick control book. If I took, I don't know what line it was. Hold on a second. Line number 9. If I thought of the line number 9, that's 3 rights and 1 left, and I eliminated the left and thought about it in 16, so I'd have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now I'm just showing you where I got it from. But the way I played it, I like to put a bit of an accent on the count of 1. So I'm going to do it again very slow with the motion. The level system is going to be 1 E and. See that? 1 E and the 2 E and the. Now when I'm playing, I'm not thinking about down, tap, up, because that's natural. Who's this? Ricardo, how you doing? All right, so I have 1 E and 2 E, nice and slow. That's going to be constant. In a faster tempo, it's I'm getting that constant accent on the 1, 2, 3, 4. The E and is sounding the same, but the and is an upstroke to get in position to hit the accent. 1, E, N. 2, E, N. 3, E, N. 4, E, N. So I have. And now all I do is drop a 2 and 4 on the snare. That gives me a heavy backbeat. So I have 1 E, N, 2 E, N, 3 E, N, 4 E, N, 1 E, N, 2 E, N, 3 E, N, 4 E, N. Now you should have that in the combinations with, I believe it was page 22. I gave you the order that Gary Chaffee put them in, I believe. Now, what I did is I've taken his combinations, the foot patterns, and you have combination number 23. And notice that what I did was I only gave you one measure of the first one, which is a repeat sign, so it makes it 4/4. But you want to play number 1 over and over and over and get the feel, but do it slow. By doing it slow, that gives you the ability to listen to what you're playing and make an adjustment so you maintain that same constant sound. 1 E, N, 2 E, N, 3 E, N, 4 E, N, 1 E, N, 2 E, N. Got it, guys? Any questions on that one? We got Randy, Paul, and Ricardo. Okay. We understand that? Now, this is part of a grid, supposedly, but I call it's actually you're permutating the bass drum pattern. By permutating, the term means to move the note over 1. So we're in a grouping of 4. So we played the bass drum on 1 and 3. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So now, we're going to take that bass drum, instead of playing it on 1 and 3, we're going to play it on the E of 1 and the E of 3, nice and slow. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So I permutated the bass drum over 1. From 1 and 3 to the E of 1 and the E of 3. Now against this pattern. Now again, do it slow. Maintain that equal sound. 1, not only the foot, with that right hand and the left hand. Here you go, both hands. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and now the bass drum 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Simple. It's not about speed. Okay? It's about you getting the sound correct. The speed will become natural once you put it in place. See, speed does not exist unless you have control. And that's what you're doing right now, is you're controlling this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now that's part of the first combination. That's line 1. That's measure number 1 and measure number 2 of the combination number 23. Now, let's go to the second line. And again, we're going to permutate the bass drum. Okay, instead of now we did the bass drum on the 1 and 3. Now we're going to do it on the E of 1 and the E of 3. We did that. So we're going to do it on the, the and of 1 and the and of 3. So we're just moving it over one note out of the grouping of 4. Okay, so now I'm gonna go right to this one. So we have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E. And now you see how I did it slow, but that gave me time to control the sound I want to get out of the voices. And that's the objective. Once I get that, I'll put it up the tempo a little bit. And by doing it for a period of time, you'd be able to play almost any tempo you'd like. But you need to play it slow first so you can control every single voice and every sound that you obtain. Now let's go to the next one. So far it was the 1 and 3, the E of 1, the E of 3, the and of 1, and the and of 3. Now comes all right, well, do the best you can. The lesson will be, I'm sorry for the interruption, guys. The lesson will be recorded after it's finished. So you could always come and revisit my page or my channel, and it'll be there. Okay? Sorry that your Wi-Fi is giving you trouble. All right? Anyway, now we're going to the da. So now I'm going to do it again slowly so that you understand what I'm doing. 1, E, and da. 2, E, and da. 3, sorry, da. 4, E, and. Now again, 1, E, and da. 2, E, and da. 3, E, and da. 4, E, and da. But see how I'm doing it slow? Then you can pick it up. 1. So on and so forth. But to get, and then that's not that fast. I mean, that's just, I'm doing each one twice, each measure twice, and just kind of making it flow. And I'll be comfortable there, and I might pick it up a little bit. But before you can pick it up a little bit, what you need to do, I gotta wash my glasses off. What you need to do is do it slow. Now, that's the combination. We're gonna go to number 3. This time, we're gonna add the bass drum. So we did the 1. We're gonna go to line number 3. We played the 1, the E, the and the da. Now we're going to do a combination. Notice that the 1 is staying the same. 1, E, and. Now on the count of 2, we added the bass drum to E, and. So I'm going to play the bass drum part only for number 3. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and. You see that? Slower. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now notice it's only written in 2/4, but by me repeating it, it gives me 4/4. So I remain in 4/4, and I just do it over and over and over and over again until I feel good about it. Now again, we're going to put the top, the hi-hat part, okay? Oh boy. It's 1 E and 2 E and. Number 3, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E, so on and so forth. We got it, gentlemen? Any questions on that? Now you have 2 pages of combinations. Or no, you have them all actually. And we're going to stay with combination number 23. All right? Now, you want me to complete the combination? There's only a couple more measures, unless you want me to go to another one. I could start this pattern number 7, if you'd like. But like I said before, you want to become familiar, all right, with the stick control cymbal patterns. You see, it's like nobody owns it. You know, everybody, well, I did that and this is what I created or invented. No, nobody can do that. This is music. It's all mathematics and it's all different formulas. Okay? And yes, bless Gary Chaffee for inspiring me to continue on what he did and expand on it in a different way. So I'm not really infringing upon his copyright. I'm infringing, which everybody should do, is his knowledge to obtain something better, and which I'm doing. Okay, so let's go. Which one we're going to go to now? Let's go to combination number 7. Now, these are very unusual cymbal patterns because, you know, we all did, you know, the paradiddle ostinato 1, 2, 3, 4. That's commonplace, you know, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or the one we just did, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now, actually, this next cymbal pattern, which is number 2, from the stick control, I mean, I made it on the PDF. It's actually cymbal pattern number 7. And it's not line 7 of the stick control book. It's the pattern number 7. I've taken it from, it's actually line 6 of the stick control book. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just relax. And we're going to still try to put that accent on the 1, because that drives the band to the 1. That's supposedly you're the timekeeper and you're giving them that 1, and it's up to them to keep the 2, 3, 4. If they're there before you to the 1, hey man, it ain't going to happen. You're laying that 1 right down. And that's always like kind of generalized. Most of the, well, all of the great players always say, as long as you know where the 1 is. Well, yeah, you know where the 1 is. If you know where the 1 is, then you're going to have to know where the 2, 3, 4 is. So, you know, you could take that into perspective. All right, let's do number 7. Is it 7? Yeah. So what I did is I took line 6 of the stick control book, and I consolidated to one measure. I went 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. And I said, okay. So now I eliminated the lefts. And I said, well, let me play all my rights instead of just on a snare drum. 1 E and the 2 E and the. I'm going to take my right hand and play it on the hi-hat. 1 E and the 2 E and the. Now I didn't put an accent there, but I'm going to push an accent. 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and. It does make a difference with the accent. 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and the. Got it, guys? Any questions on it? Hello? Yes? No? You guys enjoying this lesson? Is this what the stuff that you want to learn? I figured, you know, I have a lot of requests for this. I mean, I'm going all over the place with these lessons, and I'm not setting up a curriculum. I'm giving you the choice. You guys okay with this kind of lesson, or you want something else next time? Linear, jazz, Latin. I got to get a Latin guy in here. Speak Spanish. Teclave, son clave. Talk to me, gentlemen. Hello. Paul. Ricardo. Randy. Okay, it's good. All right. Now I'm laying this down on the hi-hat, the snare drum, and the bass drum. But there's ways that you could maneuver this and change the color. And when I say change the color, that means instead of playing, for example, if I was playing this one, 1 E and 2 E and, I can get this. That changes the whole texture. You see it? So be creative in your practice time. Okay, so would you like me to, here's the challenge actually. Let's go back to, no, oh boy. All right, let's stay with the new cymbal pattern. All right, the bass drum now is going to be on 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and, I'm doing the other one. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2, 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. Okay, you want me to slow it down? All right, we slow it down, and I'm going to go 1 E and 2 E and. Now it has to come up that end. So you have 1 E and the snare, 2 E up, the 3 E and the 4 E, sorry, and the. We see it? 1 E and 1 E and the 2 E and. Got it? Okay, we go to the second one, and again, it's the same sequence here. We permutate the bass drum. Instead of the 1 only, we're going to add the bass drum to the E of 2. So now we have 1 E and the 2 E and the, I'm sorry, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Get it? Now the next one, it moves over on the 2. Instead of playing the E, we're going to play the and of 2. Now he changes the sequence here, all right? Everybody's going or staying or what? What's going on? Where's Joe tonight? Hey, Paul, have you heard from Michael Lewis? Okay, let's go to line number 2. The bass drum is going to be played on the da of 2. It remains on 1 throughout this combination. So we're on 2. We have 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and. The next one, it shifts over to the da of 2, so we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, number 4, again we add to the E and of 2, so we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. You want to keep them there. Oh, okay. To get away from the subject, gentlemen, Michael Lewis is a student here, and he hasn't come here because he's had some issues with his heart, and he has gotten a few operations, and plus something wrong with his knee as well. And he's moving, he's relocating from, I believe it's Virginia, to Washington, D.C. Okay, so he's up his game in the business world, I guess, and he'll be back soon. Michael is a good guy. He's very passionate about his playing, and he comes here every so often for a drum camp. Speaking of drum camps, I'm not going to do one until next year, but Randy, you said you're going to come and visit. Was that the holidays in the East Coast? Randy? All right, well, anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm not going to write any more combinations. We did the first page of combinations of number 7 and number 9. And I feel what makes this a lot easier for you guys is the graphics. You see it. As it's not the way I like to teach, because, if you have to mentally focus in on it, it makes you stronger. But I'm giving you guys a break here. You see it physically, okay? And it helps you. Because some of these are really tough. But do them slow. Do the first combination with the number 9 and the first combination with number 7. But keep reviewing the cymbal patterns. Now, I will be back tomorrow evening at 7:30, and we're going to continue the combinations unless you have any other requests. Maybe a little bit of review. Talk to me, gentlemen, and tell me. Okay, nothing? All right. Ricardo, I hope you could get the whole lesson. I know that you're in Europe. Paul's in Chicago. And Randy, where you from, Randy? Where you living now? All right, but anyway, need to go, and I will be back tomorrow. They are very challenging, Paul, but see, they're more challenging when you do something slowly. Okay? When you do it slow, you're developing intense control. You're strengthening that control. Once you get the control, you turn it into the feel, and the speed will automatically come. And that's the way to practice, the way I showed you guys here. Okay, so I'm going to be leaving until tomorrow evening at 7:30. Gentlemen, have a great night, and we'll continue on the combinations. I might surprise you. I know this weekend I will be working on about 2 or 3 more cymbal patterns with the combinations. Okay, gentlemen? Any questions? Well, Ricardo, you can revisit the YouTube here. Like I said, it's going to be recorded. And I'm glad that I could help everybody or take them on a good journey here, or a useful journey, or help enhance their playing. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow night, 7:30. Now, I will be making the lessons a little longer come tomorrow, not Thursday. So have a good night and practice.